Alright gamers, you are watching a new episode of What You Gaming On, the show that we start every episode by asking you, the viewer, the gamer, what are you gaming on? Let me know what you're gaming on in the comments of this video or on any social media. Tell me the game you're playing, what you like about it, what you don't like about it, and your answer will be featured in an upcoming video of What You Gaming On. We don't have any responses for this week, so we're going to go ahead and jump into what I've been gaming on, and I've been playing Fallout 76. When this game was announced at the last E3 of E3 2018, there were a lot of concerns. I was concerned, as well as many other fans of the Fallout series. We were very concerned about this because this isn't like any of the Fallout games that have come before. This isn't like Fallout 3, New Vegas, or Fallout 4, but this was going to be a multiplayer online survival game. Now, survival is definitely part of the Fallout franchise. You're working on, not getting irradiated, make sure you have enough resources, especially with Fallout 4, where you have resources that you can build your camps and you can build your outposts. So resources and surviving has always been a constant feature in the Fallout series, or at least the Fallout series done by Bethesda from 3 onward. But the fact that this was going to be a multiplayer online survival game, it had a lot of fans worried. Because historically, Fallout has always been a single-player game. It's always been a very single-player, character story-driven game. And the fact that this was going to be online, a lot of people were worried about it, especially because Bethesda announced that there will be no human NPC characters in Fallout 76, which just added on to our worries, because where else are you going to get your quests from, and who are you going to have your companions be, and how is a Fallout game going to work without any other human NPC characters? All of the humans, quote-unquote humans, in Fallout 76 are going to be other players. All the other 20 or 25 or so players that are going to be in your server while you're playing. So if you run into a human, that human is going to be another player that can be your friend, you can be your enemy, although you can turn off PvP if you want to, which I happily did as soon as I could, was turn off PvP. But all the humans in this game are going to be other players. So a lot of people were really worried about that, because a big part of Fallout has always been the companions that you have, and the villains, and the characters that you're meeting up with and giving you missions and giving you information. Like, that's been a big part of Fallout, so losing that was a big worry. In my opinion, I think the lack of humans in this game actually works for what kind of game this is. Like, it's not just a multiplayer online survival game, but this game also takes place almost 200 years before any of the other Fallout games have taken place. It is the furthest back in the Fallout timeline that we have gone, not counting the beginning of Fallout 4, since technically Fallout 4 does begin literally within moments of the bombs falling, but then you jump 200 years into the future, and then you're in the regular Fallout timeline. No, this game, it begins. So let's just talk about the story of the game. You're a vault dweller of Vault 76, which is basically the first vault that was built for the United States Tricentennial for 2076. They built a vault. And you are one of the vault dwellers there, and you leave the vault on Reclamation Day 25 years after the vaults were closed, after the bombs fell. So this game takes place only 25 years into this post-apocalyptic nuclear wasteland of the Fallout world that we've grown to know, that we've come to know and love. So we're not going to run into, Diamond City or any big settlements that are really built. As far as I've seen, I haven't run into any big cities or anything that would need to be overpopulated with people, because the world is still rebuilding. The world is still figuring out how to survive in this nuclear post-apocalyptic wasteland. And that's kind of what you're discovering when you go into this game, is how the world has been going for the last 25 years. And what does surviving in this new world look like? That's a big part of this game. So the fact that there aren't a lot of, not a lot, there's no other people in this game in West Virginia, in Appalachia, near the Appalachian Mountains in West Virginia, kind of works. But you do find the remnants of people. You do find people who were there for the past 25 years, what they've done, the groups they've organized to try and survive this. And that's part of the mystery that you're kind of stepping into. Something that I do think, and this has to do with the story, something I do think that Fallout 76 has in disadvantage to the other Fallout games is that there's no real exciting inciting incident. You know, in Fallout 3, you grow up in Vault 101 and then bam, your dad leaves and you don't know where he went, and the Vault dwellers are trying to kill you because you betrayed Vault 101 and you have to escape, and then you have to go on this adventure to find your father. And then then Fallout New Vegas, you know, your Courier 6, and you get shot and buried alive, but you survive, you recover, and you basically go on this quest for revenge that kind of snowballs into this greater story. And then Fallout 4, you're in Vault 111, you're cryogenically frozen, and while you're frozen, your son is kidnapped, and you wake up into this new post-apocalyptic world, and you have to go find your son. There's no overarching inciting incident. It's like, oh, this was exciting, I can't wait to get into this. It's very slow. Like, the game starts, you wake up in Vault 76 hungover after the Reclamation Day party the night before. Everyone's already left, the Overseer is gone, and you woke up late, so you leave and you just go out into the world, and you just go out and you investigate, and that's it. There's no big thing. There is an overarching story with the Overseer and what her secret mission was, or what her other mission was, aside from just going out into the world and rebuilding. She had a specific mission that you do follow in her footsteps on, but overall there's no big thing. There's no quest for revenge, or to find your son, or to find your father, or anything like that. It's very much, you go into the world and you're basically just following the footsteps of the people who came before you. You're following the footsteps of the Overseers, you're following the footsteps of the Responders, who were a kind of like the Minutemen in the Commonwealth in Fallout 4. They're kind of like the Minutemen. They're basically there to help people. They're there to protect people. They're there to, gather resources and share them with people who need them, basically trying to rebuild a society on their own, and they're called the Responders. But you're following in the footsteps of basically everyone that already came before you. And because of this, the game has a very atmospheric mystery to it. I think that's one of my biggest comments of it, is that, there's no exciting inciting incident to get you started. There's no big bang that sets you on your journey. It's just something that you step into and slowly gather the clues to try to solve what happened, what's going on in West Virginia, what's going on in this area, and you're just kind of solving it as you go. And it kind of reminds me of, sure, a lot of people remember this. There was an older game, well, not way back, but, maybe 20 years or so ago, called Myst, where it's basically this very atmospheric environmental puzzle game where you go room by room and you kind of solve what happened there, and you pick up clues, and you solve the mystery of whatever this area was. Well, that kind of feels the same for Fallout 76. You're going out into this world and you're basically picking up pieces to try and figure out what happened. What is the Overseer doing? Where is she going? Why is she going there? What happened to the Responders? What happened with this plague that seems to have taken over West Virginia and killed all of the other people there? It's stuff that you're picking up clues as you go on, and it does add this sense of mystery. Now, on the other hand, you are also picking up recordings of people who lived there before. So, while you're finding their bodies, or the bodies of people who lived there before, but you're also finding holotapes that kind of give you an insight into what life was for the past 25 years after the bombs fell. And I think those are really interesting. So far, none of them have been crucial to the story, I found, but I would still consider myself in the very beginning of the game. But they are interesting to pick up and see how people lived, how people survived. Now, outside of the story and the just overall kind of atmospheric mystery of it, I am running into a few problems that I am having with the game. And it's not necessarily problems with the game itself. What is there, the multiplayer online survival aspect, it does work. I do want to say that it does work. Unfortunately, but I also have to admit that I've been playing this game so far on my own. I haven't grouped up with anyone. I haven't been playing with anyone, so I've been playing this game on my own. Unfortunately, while this game was made to be an online multiplayer, that the ideal experience is playing it with other people, you can play it on your own. It is soloable, which is very good for me because that's most of the way I play any of my games. Is I play on my own, so that's been fortunate. It's not like Sea of Thieves where you quote unquote can play on your own, but you're probably not going to be able to that well or that much. Here you can play it on your own. It's just going to be a little bit more difficult, and I'm running into that little more difficult aspect of it. So the survival elements do work, but it also just it leaves this kind of frustration for me that I've found while playing this game. Like, if I'm in the middle of a battle and my weapon breaks, I'm kind of scrambling to equip the next weapon I have, which I found a way to do that. This isn't anything that I've seen like in an official tutorial in the game. It tells you to do this, but my advice is to basically favorite all of your weapons so that you can easily get to the favorites menu and pull out your next weapon. That's probably not a big revelation for many people, but it was for me, and I was like, oh, this makes it so much easier. But even mastering the survival aspects and mastering, equipping my weapons, the two biggest frustrations for me has been these combat encounters with the monsters of Appalachia, super mutants, and this new race that seems to be specific to West Virginia, the Scorched, as well as ghouls, mole rats, rad roaches, possums. And I haven't seen it. Well, there was one thing I found. I had no idea what this was. I just stayed away from it. I don't remember what it was called, but it was some weird looking beast I found on like a bridge that I just avoided like the plague. But fighting all of these things, the biggest issue I've come across is that when I go on and if I'm walking down a road, I'll see there'll be like one or two super mutants. And this is something that happened to me in one of my last times sitting down and playing the game. There were like two super mutants. I looked around, no other super mutants, no other enemies. So I run up. I was like, you know what? I can take them. I fight the two super mutants. I take them down. Melee with melee. Melee so far has been the best way to fight in this game since VATS works a lot differently than it used to. So melee's been the way to go for me at least. But I fight the two super mutants. I beat them. I get all their stuff and I turn around. And behind me is basically half a dozen other super mutants, pretty much set up in a firing squad. It's like, God damn it, they shoot me and I'm dead. Which fortunately, because this isn't a game where you have to really worry about saving your place because it's online game, so it's all in real time. You don't have to worry about losing your progress and having to start over somewhere. If you die, you respawn fairly close by, and you can go pick up the stuff that you dropped and then continue on your way. But the fact that that's happened to me more than once, where I would go to fight one or two enemies and then turn around, and there's like 6 or 7 more that just seem to appear out of nowhere. I don't know if that's a spawning issue, or maybe it's maybe it's just my own shitty internet just making things not appear as they need to be, or if there is just that's how encounters work in this game, where you run up to one enemy NPC and then 6 more spawn for that encounter. I don't know what the issue is, but that's been really frustrating. And then the second issue, that even if you manage to survive that encounter of fighting one super mutant and then having 6 more appear out of nowhere behind you, and then you fight those 6 super mutants and you beat them, you still run into the issue of the game freezing. More than once, I've had the game freeze on me to where for a good 10-15 seconds I couldn't move, and then the game would unfreeze and I would be down most of my health during a fight, and I'd have to figure out either run or die from the fight that I'm in because the game froze. So again, I don't know if that's a frame rate issue or if it's just my own crappy internet. I don't know, but those two things have been the biggest frustration I found in this game so far. I do want to say that yes, Fallout 76 as a multiplayer online survival game, it does work. What is there is good. It just needs a bit more polishing. Like, I don't want to say that the game feels unfinished because there is a lot there. There is a lot there to be discovered. And, I've been playing it all weekend or trying to play it all weekend. And, I'm still just at the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more to find. There's a lot more to do. I'm still in the beginning of the game, but it feels like the game needs a little more polish, which, to be honest, looking at any Elder Scrolls or Fallout game from Bethesda, most of them, as great as they can be, still need a little bit of polish. Even at their peak performance, you're still running into, objects clipping into walls and just, weird glitches in the game. That's just kind of, unfortunately, that's one of Bethesda's MO. Like, that's just something that happens with Bethesda game, which, as much as I love the Elder Scrolls and Fallout series, they do have that issue. But right now, as Fallout 76 stands, yes, it does work. It just needs a little bit more polishing, which fortunately I've read that an update is going out today on Monday that's going to fix a lot of performance issues, which hopefully that'll fix some of my frustrations, and I can then enjoy the game at my leisure and not worry about, the game freezing or worry about half a dozen super mutant firing squad appearing out of nowhere behind me. But so far, yes, I do think it is a good game. I do think that it has a lot of potential, and I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see just where this base game story goes. I mentioned there is a greater mystery to it, and I'd like to explore that. I'd like to continue finding out what's going on in this game. But I'm also excited to see what they're going to add to it, because they've already said they have a lot of content updates planned for the next year. They're going to be adding apparently new vaults. Which I wonder if that'll be kind of like a dungeon kind of thing. I'm excited to see what this game is going to have to offer. I'm also excited, and this is a question I was thinking about earlier. All of the Vault Tech vaults were designed as experiments. Vault Tech designed all of their vaults as experiments, so I'm kind of curious if Vault 76 has a like an other motivation kind of scientific experiment, or maybe this is the one that didn't. I don't know. Like I said, I'm still in the beginning of the game. I'm still working my way through it, trying to move past the frustrations I've had with it. But so far it's been a good game. It has a few issues that I think can easily be resolved. So yes, I do think Fallout 76 works as the online multiplayer survivor experience that Bethesda was going for. It needs a little bit more polish. But now I want to hear from you. If you've been playing Fallout 76, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. What do you think of this new Fallout experience? Let me know in the comments and follow me on all the internets. If you want your answer to be featured in an upcoming What You Gaming On video, then tell me what you're gaming on, what game you're playing, what you like about it, what you don't like about it, in the comments of this video or on any of my social media. If you want to see any of my other content via videos or written reviews of Marvel TV shows and movies, go to TreyGuillotine.com. If you're a writer and you're looking for an editor to offer some affordable editing services, go to that same website and click on the tagged editing tab, and let's start working together. Follow me on all the internets and subscribe to my channel to geek out some more. Keep on gaming, gamers. So Captain America, Thor, Hulk.